We're going to have to see if they can keep that love.
It does also help that xPeke is just beyond handsome, right?
Yeah, ridiculous, right? He's playing off-roll. He's dying a lot every game.
Imagine if you're
you can't help but love
if
him.
you're a former rookie mid laner coming to LCS and you get dumpstered like that every game, nobody will like your gameplay. Nobody's going to cheer your name.
I don't know. I haven't seen anyone as beautiful. Maybe if there's like another really handsome guy, we'll see a different story.
That's fine. I'll go back into pro player. All right, Azir Bard banned out on the side of G2. Getting Bard off of Mithy, but again, the targeting hybrid here has a very narrow champion pool in which he can perform. Bard and Braum usually, but Braum is kind of out of the meta.
Absolutely, and really interesting here, they're banning the Rise away from PerkZ, despite it being one of those champions where we frequently see him kind of overstep and make mistakes. However, the Jhin ban make a lot of sense. You do not want to give that in the hands of Zven. We saw how lethal he was with it yesterday.
They're just going for an early Viktor here, it seems, on the side of Origen, or they have a counter pick ready here. G2, I would like the Shen pick. I think it fits exactly what they need from xPeke, but when they pick it up, obviously matters.
I also think we have to consider, despite the fact that we saw marked improvement in the communication yesterday, managing the double global cooldowns here from xPeke and that communication, that's a big leap of faith if they do decide it. Instead, taking a little bit more time to figure out what they want in the top lane and picking up the karma early on.
Yeah, stronger support here honestly allows for a lot of pivoting around bot lane comps, and it probably solidifies that G2 will win the 2v2 here. Karma plus, honestly, any of the AD carries that are open right now gives them a really strong lane.
Of course, interesting to see what OG are going to put the priority on. Will they take the Shen for themselves? We know it's not Soaz's favorite champion to play, but it offers a lot of power for the team.
And we have to mention that G2 hovered Nidalee, decided against picking it because they know that Amazing, probably just not going to play that Nidalee. He seems to trend towards other champions here, and he locks in the Elise over the Nidalee. That means G2 have the choice to play the Nidalee into the Elise matchup or go for something a little bit more robust if they want to pivot.
Yeah, and you can see them hovering Graves now, one of the champions that's risen in popularity. We'll figure out what they're going to actually lock down here in a second. On the opposite side, the Braum coming in for hybrid melee supports against this Karma.
Yeah.
That's a bold move.
It only indicates that Origen will likely have to lane swap, because not only should PeKe and hybrid always lane swap versus Zven and Mithy, regardless of what matchup they're playing, having melee into range support only makes that worse.
Yeah, definitely not at all where you want to be. And G2, of course, have said that they've improved a lot in the lane swap. R can be set to take that, but with a Braum locked in, they can probably feel pretty comfortable taking standard lanes as well.
Super mobile composition. If G2 have shored up their communication here, and even if the lane swap comes through, they have a very large open map to play on with a hyper mobile composition here against a very often fragmented Origen that relies very heavily on picks. This may turn into their favor very quickly.
Gonna have to see. A lot of that's gonna come down to Amazing. The man himself. Early pressure from this jungler on the top side of the map has been a boon for Origen. It's allowed Soaz to get ahead and make things happen. We're gonna have to see what matchup he gets picked into. Who are they going to save that last pick for? Will they give comfort to PowerOfEvil versus PerkZ, or will they worry about Soaz versus xPeke? Two lethal laners on the side of G2 in terms of individual prowess.
But it has to be the Viktor here. I would leave counter pick for Soaz so he can bully xPeke. That is the one matchup that could tilt the entire series. And then you just put a save Viktor champ on PowerOfEvil. The only question is, what champions is going to be? I would have liked to see maybe a Sivir, but I guess you need an AD carry that plays better on a side lane here. Ezreal could have been an option too for xPeke, but he seems rather comfortable on the Lucian.
Of course, with G2 already having their hands on the Sivers, the options are a little bit more limited. And Lucian locking in the end of the day, we talk about comfort picks, not terrible. Still not great. Obviously prioritized a lot in North America, even banned out or picked away from Doublelift when we saw their set versus Envy. So definitely not bottom of the table, but has not remained a priority. And as G2 round out their composition with that comfort pick, Gnar on the top for xPeke, and that Zilean we saw from PerkZ yesterday, I'm really wondering what OG can bring to the table.
Love the Zilean against some of the comp that Origen has built here. They have quite a pick potential. You know, Braum and Elise tend to isolate targets and burn them down at the start of the fight, and then hope to win the fight with Braum blocking. But Zilean can negate that. However, G2 are running maybe into a pitfall that Fnatic sometimes runs into. It's that they have very limited hard CC. The only really hard CC that they can reliably connect is Flash knockup from Trick. Remember, Gnar is kind of a secondary engage. His weakness gets overcome a little bit by being sped up by the Zilean, however, but this is a tricky composition to play for G2 Esports. But if there's any team here in Europe that can pull it off this split, it is definitely G2.
Absolutely, and the follow-up CC is there, the double bombs, the Gnar ultimate. If they get that fight started on their terms, they have great situational engagement.
But now we have to look at Origen as well. they're running a composition with a rather early spike here, in my opinion. And they have the Irelia, and we've talked all about how they want to lane swap. They need to lane swap. Irelia is garbage in the lane swap, in my opinion. So your top laner wants to 1v1, but he's also in an unfavorable matchup because I guess Gnar does okay versus her, actually.
It really depends. So in my experience,
I think Irelia actually should be able to win those trades.
The thing is that in Mega Gnar, Gnar can obviously disengage, can't match up with the sustained damage from Irelia. In Mini Gnar, it's too easy for her to get on top.
Yeah, I'm just playing some trades in my head. I think if Irelia leaves herself an exit creep, she can always beat the matchup because she'll dash in, duel, and then Q dash out to the exit creep, and then she can always, whittle the Gnar down. So I think she should be okay in this matchup.
We'll have to see if we get the standard lanes here. Take a sec, guys. I don't think so. We're going to get the lanes off. Both these teams prepping for it. Hashtag OG win if you're siding with our crowd here. The hash for the votes for Origen. Or G2.
If you're a sensible viewer out there.
Wow. Fair.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
And we have a pause.
This is a consistent trend for us here today in the studio. Players need a couple extra seconds of breathing room.
Yep. xPeke is just getting used to this new setup here. Still new to the LCS stage.
Yep. And of course, swapping between two stages this week, Gotta make sure everything's in order. Same keyboard, same mouse, but getting the settings right.
It's all about the chair height, man. That's the one thing.
Those things are so hard to adjust on the fly.
The first match you play and you have different elbow height, throws you off.
This is the pro player insight that I live for from you, by the way. Elbow height. Oh, I never would have thought of it.
My team hated me so much. Every time I was like, guys, I can't play like this. Something's wrong. And they're like, Krepo, shut it up. Nothing's wrong. Turns out something was wrong. I
like how you censored yourself there.
Yeah.
Let's keep it PG.
I like my job. I only get so many F-bombs a year, and I'm already over my quota, so.
The number you get is 0, and you are definitely over the quota. Of course, we are now going to get back in the game. Final little adjustments. The elbow height is just right. And we're going to get here into our first game.
Elbow height. Elbow height.
They're not swayed by you. They are Origen fans first and dank crowd memers second.
We get the nice scenic tour here from Summoner's Rift.
I agree. Yeah, all right, fair audience. I'm excited about the scenic tour too.
All right, no CC here on G2 eSports. Need to look at PerkZ. If he goes into the game well, he can influence a lot of these fights. Yesterday, his zone control with the bombs was fundamental for G2 winning.
Absolutely.
And Hybrid is still on his comfort champ, Braum. He has solo carried games on this champ. We need to see if he can repeat that performance against his former team.
Very interesting. The pressure mounting. Amazing himself. Probably would love to have a victory here as well after they were taken down in week 1. Mithy sniffs this one out. Knows that they're there. Watch him leave the brush in the end.
Well, you'll have to wait because PowerOfEvil started with Siphon of Power. He'll skill that death rate slightly later, and then obviously Amazing will have a victory in his team.
Not only do you actually looked at the abilities to see if that pun was legit.
What?
I like that. I would have just said that even if he had taken death rate. You're like no.
No, verify your puns, man.
Yeah.
There's 2 rules here. All right, you refresh your pivot tables, and you verify your puns here. Match lanes up in the top lane though. Zven and Mithy know that they're gonna catch xPeke and Hybrid in the top lane, and we get to see standard lanes here. We need to see how well xPeke and Hybrid lane from behind.
Oh, and which route they're going to take.
They'll probably be zoned off from top lane here.
They've been spotted. G2 know that they're there.
They should just run bot right now. They really should run over the map and run to the bot lane.
Worth the time difference here, I think. No, it looks like they're going to offer the standard lanes anyway. Mithy and Sven, of course, have been spotted out. They are not aware of it. Did not see that ward drop. Hoping to catch somebody out. Sven moves up into lane, and they're going to start this off. But now we get to see the xPeke versus Soaz matchup as well. Both of these teams.
Yeah, but it's door and shield here on xPeke. I like it. Just a slightly more passive approach. Obviously, doesn't want to play Corruption Potion as Gnar into Corruption Potion Irelia. So xPeke should be able to win that matchup, I feel. PerkZ level 2 here. Early double bounce. Sidestep for PowerOfEvil. Has to trade into a lot of minions.
Yeah, that Deathfire touch. Oh, so many minions. In the end, it's an even trade.
Yeah, because if he eats that bomb, he loses that trade really hard. So despite eating a lot of minion damage there, the mistake was made once he got outraced to level 2 here.
Interesting choices here on the top side of the map as well. You talk about lanes with Karma choosing between rushing level 2 and getting that poke.
You wanna get to level 2 one creep ahead. So then the lane moves slow enough that you can deny more creeps without it auto pushing in too much. And you want to then poke as much as you can. Right now the lane is too far pushed, so you won't deny creeps, so you just want to push into the tower ASAP so you have a maximum experience advantage and poke them under the turret right now. We're going to look at Mithy and Zven here, hoping to maybe get a Warden versus an amazing gank and see if they can poke.
Mithy's starting to back off here, maybe hoping to swap the lanes out in the end anyway.
I think they're going for a macro play. Their practice in lane swaps has paid off so much. I don't think they're returning to this lane. They may just run to the bottom lane here. Yes, look at how they accelerate the map. They're not playing for 2v2 because they know they can win, but the only way they lose is a gank from Amazing. And while Hybrid and xPeke are pushing out here, they're looking for a potential dive on Soaz or just putting him in the dumpster and forcing him to back off. So this is a post-lane phase lane swap.
Not only is it an adaptation in the lane swap, it's an adaptation specific to OG here. Shutting down Soaz would be so good for this team when we've seen him come up huge in the past few weeks. And Soaz and OG...
But it's so rare to see them do this in a matchup that they can just single-handedly beat. They must be so afraid of just Amazing swinging around to top side and just getting a favorable trade here. Look at them, Soaz right now. He says, guys, why is this happening? Where's my miss ping?
Not gonna get it today.
And now he has to teleport to match the speed unless they want to hold 3v2 here. Let's see, this is creative shot calling here. Origen looking for the hold, increasing strength on towers, but this is 4v2.
Tricks here as well. Backside of the tower not quite as safe as it used to be. Keep our eyes on that flash knockup, something we talk about so much. Hybrid and Peke slowly whittling down this tower.
And now xPeke could technically teleport to top the hold, but he doesn't want to do that because then he runs into a Soaz teleport and he will get dove 3v1. And Soaz doesn't really want to teleport to the top lane because then he has TP disadvantage. So in essence, by getting the push, let's see if PerkZ dies here to the roll from Soaz. That's something we need to look at first.
Oh, overextending has been an issue for him in the past. He's going to have to
He's just slow enough for the stun to miss.
Waiting as long as possible to get the flash out here. Isn't even going to use it.
It was so close. PerkZ took a little bit of damage, which meant Soaz's equilibrium strike was not in equilibrium, and it was just a slow instead of a stun, and PerkZ survives.
That man, the patience not to flash there. I thought for sure he was going to flash the Viktor field. I thought he was going to get locked down, taken out if he didn't do it, and he just manages to make it out. And since he has the TP advantage over the opposition, he doesn't really lose anything in the end. And the wave's not even pushed in, and this is not good for OG. Soaz has to move up to the top side to help get this tower. He gets the gold, but OG behind.
Slightly behind, you would think, but it does mean that xPeke has access to free farm and a wealth of experience too, and in the matchup that they usually should have beaten harder, G2 kind of lost a potential advantage that they could have gained in a 2v2. You know, there's always, you have to look at the opportunity cost. Like, they accelerate the gameplay, but Origen seem to have good reactions. They defend for a little bit, realize they can't stay, don't get dove. On the map, they still got equal resources. They're just slightly shifted towards xPeke over Soaz.
Resources, as the crowd said, important. In the game, League of Legends.
I don't know, man. It stays funny to me.
It's still so funny. I can't lie.
There's this one guy on Reddit though that's gonna be super pissed off because he wrote like a novel about how he hated war cheers. He's like, can somebody of security kick the guy out? He's continuously cheering for wards. When we found that guy.
This is an interactive cast and an interactive topside. Hybrid, he's looking to carry. 2 stacks, 3 stacks. Zven set to fall. Suddenly a bloodbath in the top lane, but the TP is coming in. Mithy is in trouble. xPeke, he has the Mega Gnar, but he's the only one here. No level 6. I think he's overstayed.
PerkZ is coming though from the river.
Jumps in, stun, flash out, not going to be enough. Amazing picks up a kill as well. This is a disaster for G2. They've lost so much.
Oh, and all the advantages were funneled into xPeke. G2 tried to shut down that lane, but the teleport was too late, and look at this. Soaz has parked the bus here. Lane is frozen. Trick is desperately going to try and solve that, but if Soaz can maintain this freeze here for 10 seconds, he needs to tank minions and Trick. He's going to look for the challenge.
PowerOfEvil is on the way down, maybe looking for more. Trick, has he overstayed his welcome?
Oh, freeze maintained. That's the important part. Trick dying or living doesn't really matter, but Soaz can now spiral ahead and equalize that advantage that xPeke has, and suddenly the map is in control of Origen.
Not something we often see, but getting that early game advantage, this time not for Soaz, instead for Peke. Hybrid making plays happen, amazing there to back it up.
Ooh, this must be so rough for G2 here. The teleport from xPeke again was late. Zven miscalculated it too. Duel over the blue buff here. xPeke comes in.
Oh, Amazing gonna get it in the end.
Amazing gets it.
Pink ward still down. They are gonna clear this one out, but OG with a decent advantage. And we're gonna watch that one more time.
So Amazing and Hybrid snuck in here. They traded aggressively onto xPeke. Flash, spell sheet, all good from Zen, but then obviously Flash exhaust Braum is enough. We've seen Yellow start doing 2 on level 1 invades. Mithy gets close. xPeke goes for the fight. He should have peeled upwards toward his ally, ally Zilean. Look, if he just immediately ran into the river, waiting for PerkZ to come in, PerkZ could have collapsed here. So that's another error in communication. And obviously this Braum passive paying off.
And the TP.
Well-deserved pick here for Hybrid.
Absolutely. Hybrid, we talked about him as someone that can 1v9, 1v5 rather, carry the team if he's given that pick, if he can make things happen. Aggressive plays, the exhaust, the flash forward. Really excellent start coming in for OG, and funneling the 2 kills into Amazing means it's going to be that much easier for Amazing to apply pressure across the map.
All right, we need to see how this evolves though. It's a 1.5k gold lead. At this point in the game, that's a really big advantage here, but it's all centered around this jungler. xPeke is still catching his farm in the bot lane. If Amazing can show up anywhere.
Making his way into the jungle. He's got the back from the AD carry support here as well. He controls the side.
He got it.
Gets the buff. That's going to be massive for PerkZ in the mid lane.
Yeah, PerkZ down. A blue buff disadvantage, or potential advantage is lost here rather, because obviously PowerOfEvil is not playing with blue buff himself. River control on the side too. Hybrid and Amazing right now. They need to roam together, play the map here, and catch the lonesome member from G2 by surprise. Hybrid can also deny some of these bombs with the shield. There's still projectiles. They will land on top of him. Guarantee him an AoE double stun around him, so that's why it's very tricky to play Braum into Zilean sometimes. But now OG are going to take the recipe that G2 did earlier and group on the enemy top laner at the tier 1 tower.
I mean, good ward to spot this one out, but OG smell blood in the water. They're going to move down to this tower. Going to start to burn through this one as quickly as possible, and they're so far ahead, and you can see a single gank, that massive freeze on the bottom side of the map in favor of OG, giving so much for Soaz.
Not only freeze, when the wave becomes unstuck, it obviously masses up into a giant ball of minions that xPeke want to cash in, but Origen, they ride that ball of minions into one turret and now into the second, and right now Zven stuck in the other side. Zven does not carry any teleport. Soaz will match him and still have a potential teleport to join the bottom side of the map too, so Origen are assigning their lanes much better here, and they're doing a great job accelerating their advantage.
Absolutely, and while the mid laners are just duking it out, OG are taking everything on the side lanes. They extend the gold lead to 2k. They're going to look to pick up the Mountain Dragon as well. And
now we have to go back and question that move from Zen and Mithy. Was it worth accelerating the game, so to say, instead of just beating up into this melee matchup with their 2v2 in the top lane? It's definitely worth analyzing here. I think a lot of people will be looking at it.
Tower drops, Dragon drops as well. Gold a little bit more even than it was moments ago, but Soaz.
But he opted into the 1v1 lane with the AD carry, but obviously Mithy will show up here. Can Soaz get the farm? Yeah, they're backing off. They're just scared of what's waiting in the wings here. Complete fog of war here behind this Irelia. But Trick kind of wants to stop that. He's pinging him.
G2, of course, more members on the top side of this stage. Maybe hoping to get some advantage, but G2 are moving some, or OG rather, moving up some members of their own. What's really interesting here is that we talked about G2 improving their lane swap, but maybe not always sure when to use it, as you mentioned earlier, because now they are so far behind, and despite these small advantages as they push in for a bit of vision here, they're not able to have a tangible lead quite yet.
Yeah, we need to see Amazing use his gold lead. It's obviously great on Soaz, who plays a fundamental role in the game. Right now he has no vision on his flank though, and we see Mithy and Trick move into the enemy jungle. Very often in situations like this, Amazing has rushed in and gotten caught. We have On the Hunt going towards Soaz. We've seen his escape many times. Will he channel his inner Houdini again?
Is it going to be enough? Flash forward, dash out, misses the snare. Fancy footwork from Soaz, doesn't get the reset on Blade Surge, but will have it up in a moment.
I mean, cross map, Origen should look to mid lane here, or they're looking to turn around and engage on the Zilean here.
PeKe suddenly on the back line, double bombs come out to zone the team, but Soaz is on his way out. Looking to dash out, gets knocked up. There's not enough damage here to burn him down. Finally uses the flash, OG with the fancy footwork.
He does it again, he doesn't flash. When Mithy preemptively flashes to keep the tether on, he does an OTQ combo to then proc his Sheen on a minion, which means he gets a reset on the Q. He dashes out, and he runs out of that fight.
Nice moves coming in from Soaz. See why he gets these champions all to himself. Absolute mechanical.
Does it again. Pulls it under Soaz.
Beautiful.
But you have to wonder how one develops a talent for escaping situations where he gets caught overextending.
Well, like most things, repeated circumstances. Oh, apparently it's because he's the best.
No, it's because he's a repeat offender of overextension.
Yeah. We'll have to see if that's going to cost him more as they move later in the game. But for now, OG take advantage. They get this Rift Herald buff, and that's going to be huge in this 1v1 matchup.
It feels like Soaz is always on parole. Just waiting to get caught again. And then pay the price.
The question is, you know, G2, can they punish him? Can they get him back? Back behind bars, shut down that top lane.
There's no Officer Caitlyn. And that's as far as that reference goes.
Yep.
We're done. Back to the game.
So.
No.
Good job, observers. Don't give them what they want.
Sometimes you got to give them a firm tick on the nose on the crowd. Just need like a newspaper. Whenever they start cheering for the war.
Take a second, get over there. Of course, OG have the advantage now, but what are they going to turn it into? What is the next step here for them? Because G2, maybe not content to keep farming up, but it seems like a decent option as they start to pressure the top side.
I mean, G2 have just been trading sides of the map, not going into any duels here. And obviously, the more you trade, that 1,500 gold lead at 8 minutes will be slightly less relevant at 14 and much less relevant at 20 minutes. So it's all about making that constant gold lead less relevant over time, percentually speaking.
That's frustrating. I feel for PerkZ. Wave goes in, waves or not for PerkZ, for PowerOfEvil. Waves goes in, wave disappears.
He's playing Viktor. How can you feel for him? He does exactly the same thing. They're control mages. They obliterate minion waves.
Yeah, all right, fair.
So there's two guys in a sword fight and one is losing. I feel for this guy.
Oh, going in. Soaz locked up. Mithy's on the way in. Soaz should be able to win the 1v1, but it is no longer the 1v1. No fancy footwork left. He just wants to get a kill back. Shield comes out. Soaz goes down. Back to prison for the top laner on OG.
Do not pass start. Straight to the prison here for Soaz. And that means the gold lead gets equalized. xPeke is now back ahead of Soaz here. And Origen failed to capitalize here. Amazing 2 kills. Went for a damage build on Elise, but has failed to find a single pick. And he's actually trailing behind in farm versus Trick as well.
Trick, of course, known for his farm-heavy style. And amazing. Normally one who makes kind of proactive plays here, but just not finding the opportunities or not being aggressive enough with this lead.
Yeah, he needs to group with his support to find that. They need to find isolate vision in a single area and then move to a different lane and hope they catch somebody in the rotation, but it's so hard. Obviously, Trick can dance around this very well with his global ultimate. He could be at the wrong part of the map and immediately show up at the right part if he realizes he has been bamboozled, and Trick is so smart at knowing where to be. Bit of a siege here though, chipping away at this bot lane tower.
And on the one hand, we praised Hybrid earlier for being the potential playmaker of that initial skirmish, but Mithy has been everywhere on this map, showing up to back up xPeke to make sure that they can win out in that duel, now coming to clear out the waves, and he's matching Hybrid everywhere he goes.
Very surprised to still see him pick up the Swifties though, so it's telling us that he wants to maintain his movement speed in combat, so no Moby boots. But perhaps it would have been wiser to go CDR boots. Maybe he just had boots 2 on curve, and he really wanted to get the additional mobility to start playing the map as cheap as possible.
And maybe after those initial plays from Soaz where he's able to run away, duck out of those scenarios, he just wants to be able to keep up. But either way, an interesting choice here. Giving up some of that potential shielding and fights for the ability to keep up.
Instant ward clear here too, and now Soaz slightly overextended, double bomb, has to flash.
They're not going to get in to land that stun, but Soaz taking so much damage. Deathfire touch, taking just a bit down. Now G2 maybe looking to take control of this Cloud Drake.
Yeah, and with that, Soaz has to base catch the top lane now. Doesn't have flash for the ensuing fight. Expect to start building his Gnar bar pretty soon here on the creeps once he comes off cooldown, and then they can maybe look for a dragon test here. Remember, Gnar plus Zilean is a combo that works. They enhance each other. Gnar goes into the backline with the speed, guaranteeing his ulti, takes damage, and then gets revived by the Zilean.
Very good spot to be, of course. Getting the benefit of both Mini Gnar and Mega Gnar in those team fights if you can extend them. Disapproving Krepo for the
but I got eye contact with one of them. I'm just singling them out. Eye contact one by one.
One at a time.
No.
Trick caught out. Chain CC not going to land so close there to keep Trick locked up, but he will just have just enough speed to get out of the gravity field. Yeah. Both teams so desperate to set something up, but neither one has really been able to find any large advantages, just a few picks.
Because they're challenging the plays at the foundation, which is vision. When you have teams that actually know what they're doing, the first thing they do when they try to target an objective is set up the side waves and the vision here. You always want a winning or a pushing side lane. Now Amazing trying to counteract that. He got spotted by the Wolf Sprite here. Trick defending his Gromp. One more hit. No! Yes, he got it.
Oh, gets it in the end. Expect there as well, so it's the 2v2 on the top side. Hybrid as well, but you talk about vision control. G2 own the bottom side of the map. OG, yes, they have control over their own jungle, but look at that river. So much vision coming down for OG.
Triple pink. There's one pink in the G2 jungle that they need to move. It's actually xPeke's pink ward. He doesn't have a slot for a new one. That's why he has that one still at red buff. But he could move that around to solidify some extra vision. But now PowerOfEvil is leading the charge here. Origen trying to reclaim this river area. Soaz is moving down too, because they pushed him top. Push in top, base, go Dragon, go for a play, and then teleport back into the lane if it's pressured here.
Ready to have that man advantage, knowing that if Gnar comes in and commits, he'll be giving up farm elsewhere.
Gnar's going to hold. They're going to trade Cloud Drake for an advantage on xPeke. Both teams are aware of this.
Dragon.
Yeah, and G2 actually use this as a free base timing. They say, you know what, we lose the play, we can't contest. We're just going to base here and start playing the map now from the bottom out. They can push this top lane whenever, and they'll probably sync it up with Sivir pushing out bot lane, while everybody on the side of Origen is basing, and then maybe they can converge in mid, threaten and dive, and maybe get some chip damage on the tower.
Vision getting cleared out as well. Back and forth on this vision battle, despite the Dragon going down. PekZ pushes the wave in. Zven.
This is a ward.
Oh no, that's not what you want. Interesting. Wave's not quite syncing up.
No, they don't have to. They're doing it slow. There's just... xPeke doesn't want to push because they doesn't have vision, so they're going to push out side lane first, get the vision in between the lanes that are pushing, while xPeke stays safe, because that's usually what cross map is. If you push bot, you should be safe on top side. It's very greedy to both push them out at once, unless you have the vision for it.
Interestingly enough, Soaz, his presence known on the top side, hoping to reset this wave, not wanting xPeke to keep farming up, and he's dominating this 1v1. xPeke without the backup of his team and in that mini-Gnar form, so vulnerable to these Rift Herald all-ins. Suddenly OG own the top side of the map. G2 are scrambling to make a response. TP comes out. Is it going to get canceled? Oh, OG. Great play coming in from Soaz. xPeke too little too late, but they're looking for the flank.
No, it was PerkZ because xPeke teleports above Soaz.
Moving in, Soaz set to fall here. G2 get a kill back in exchange, but OG are now on the map. They are absolutely outmaneuvering G2 in these exchanges.
I mean, outmaneuvering, but it's another catch on Soaz here. He expected that was actually the enemy top laner going for the TP, but there was tomfoolery in play. It was PerkZ losing his one, the good old deceptive TP. And then xPeke comes in and gets a kill, and now he has the Black Cleaver finished and starts pushing out pressure on the top lane. So I like it. Small mistake from PerkZ, but it's still a good collapse here. And Soaz caught overextending again.
Not at all where he wanted to be, however. OG managed to maintain their gold lead, about 2K at this point in the game. They have the double dragons as well, maybe looking to round it out with an Ocean here in the next couple of minutes. We'll take a look at that play one more time, exactly how this unfolded.
I mean, look at that ward right there at the Gromp. Like, Soaz has so much backup from his team, but they all get zoned out. Trick zones out Amazing and PowerOfEvil, and then comes in for the swoop on Soaz. So Soaz not respecting the line of play. Line of scrimmage moves up and down depending on your vision and where your teammates are, if they can react and join you on the play. And Origen are hitting like their major power spikes, a lot of their champions here.
Having the 2 items on the Sivir, Rod of Ages completed up. Rek'Sai so tanky with the Locket as well, Black Cleaver. Things looking good for G2 thus far. The Trinity Force for Soaz so great for burning down those towers, but not finding the 1v1 opportunities he wants.
Can still tear through xPeke, I think, at this point. xPeke needs like one more item defensively to start dealing with this Irelia.
Wondering if he's going to get another opportunity too. You can see the matchup on the top side. OG moving up as well, maybe looking for the collapse. But
it's
they know
W max into Q max for Soaz if you're looking at how to play the matchup. Just 1 point in E.
Just wants the minimum value on that stun and the sustained damage coming in.
Ooh, cheeky little Baron here.
Talked about bold decision making in our set earlier today, but there's no vision.
This is the usage of wave push. Lucian get it out here on 5K. Soaz using ultimate. They're committing here. Look for PowerOfEvil for the zone.
Keep our eyes. Where is it going to be? Trick, can you get it? Is it going to be enough? They move in. G2, they're taking their time. Are they going to be able to steal it? Good job, amazing. Gets it in the end, but what is the price OG have to pay? They set to fall. Oh, nice
amazing
play coming over the wall.
Secures the Baron, but he could have flashed out there. Now Trick gets the revive here. They're chasing.
Wants to get aggressive, but they don't take the bait. They do not proc the Zilean ult, and OG walk away with the advantage.
Yeah, beautiful secure from Amazing, but he could have flashed out earlier here, and you see probably can juke one. That's enough. No double stun.
Hybrid moving forward. Sven now set to take down a mid lane tower. They may not be able to even up the difference in buffs here, but they want some gold back. Is Sven being over aggressive? Hybrid warning him if he takes another step forward that he will get popped.
What a bold maneuver here from Origen, pushing top lane. They had vision now in river. They've been playing on their strong side continuously, getting that objective here. Look, PowerOfEvil and Hybrid man the front here, blocking so many projectiles here. Sven can't bounce off of Hybrid because he destroys the projectiles. Then Hybrid flashes out right here. Everybody should flash out. Amazing could have survived this play. I think it's defensible that he didn't. But eventually, all Origen members except Amazing make it out. Zilean ulti goes down, and more importantly, Trick's flash also down. Now they can play with Baron. Ooh, Trick sees Hybrid. He knows. He's revealed with the trinket. So if somebody sweeps, you gotta be wary that they see you in the brush, because right now you have silhouettes in that brush. Despite being still.
No surprise kills coming out today. A minute left till Ocean Drake. But OG got their sights set on something else. PerkZ, quick flash to safety. OG moving into the mid lane. Much harder for Zilean to clear out these waves.
Yeah, shifting the side that they play on. First they get the Baron vision, but right now they want to play between tier 1 and mid, tier 2 and bot lane. Aggressive vision, and they're looking for picks here. PerkZ just have to use his flash, so any cocoon, any Braum Q can be enough to spell his death.
Keep our eyes on that. OG setting up to siege. G2 moving to stop. Soaz back in the top lane to clear out the wave. Has the TP. Teleport flank wards have been placed. He can get into the back lines if he needs to.
Yeah, that's something they have to look out for. If you're G2 Esports, the looming threat of a potential Irelia TP is a zone in itself. If you respect it, you play more backwards in the fights, which means Origen can get more access to that turret.
And additionally, not only do they have to play around the Baron buff, Soaz's TP and the flanks, but they have to play around the Gnar bar of xPeke as well. So many factors for G2 to consider. OG set up to take down the Cloud Drake. No opportunity for Trick to steal away. Mountain next on the table. But OG with a plethora of buffs to back them up. However, 4K gold lead, the only tangible advantage they've gained from the Baron thus far. Can they break an inhibitor? Can they get more pressure on the map?
Yeah, and xPeke is still struggling in the side lane against Soaz, despite him being cut out a couple of times. He has really good dueling prowess here. It's a story we've told before about Origen. They need a driving force here. Slightly tankier jungler or utility jungler plus carry top seems to be more in their ballpark than putting Soaz on a tank.
Working out very well overall. Not seeing the Shen come out today. Very surprising from both sides, but both top laners opting for comfort here. The Irelia coming out, the Gnar coming out for xPeke. Now G2 maybe looking to get a little bit back. Baron buff still up for the next 7 seconds, so we'll make clearing those waves a little bit tough, but you said xPeke needed one more item. He's got it. The Deadman plate coming out. That much harder for Soaz to get on top of him. That much harder for Soaz to get away.
Well, it probably meant one more off than this. But Soaz seems to be snowballing. I need to see if PerkZ survives here. One bomb goes down. Minions are gonna conga line in, get exploded.
A little bit mistimed there on the wave. Now moving a little bit in.
Oh, G2 is actually pinging for a reactive play here. They pinged out a TP ward in Tribrush, and xPeke has 90% on the Gnar bar.
It's a blue ward though.
Okay, so they can't actually TP to that one. Maybe they realized that one after the ping.
Not exactly what they wanted for the setup. Still eager to make plays here though, despite this gold deficit. G2 trying to get their way back into this one. OG really taking their time. I think they know that Soaz just going to continue to scale up as they push out these sideways, and they're more than happy to just settle for vision control.
And it's honestly just keep moving around until you force an error on the opposing team here. Either G2 catch Origen reaching too deep into the cookie jar, or G2 finally find themselves outmaneuvered. You know, checkmate, no good options left here.
Going to be the case for PerkZ. One stack goes down, ulti comes out, good sidestep, exhaust dropping as well. He's going to ult himself.
Yep,
Second life.
Escape path here.
Irelia goes in, PerkZ gets popped. Great play coming in for OG. That's the misstep that they wanted. They've got their sights set on this tower. There's 2 members of G2 on the top side, and no chance to react to this. Inhibitor next on the menu.
Yeah, if PerkZ sidesteps into the fight, he loses position and then gets tagged by the Braum passer. That's why Braum's so good at picking people off here. Aggressive defense.
Zven has to run for his life, can't afford to get hit by the storm. Hybrid on the front lines, trying to make something happen, and PowerOfEvil dishing out the damage.
And the crowd loses its ability to chant as the camera gets put on them again. It's back. See? It's hard.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure.
To talk when a camera's on.
Where do you keep your hands?
God, that's the hardest part.
You stand up and you're like, triangle? No, that looks awkward.
Yeah.
In pants? No,
No,
that's
definitely.
casual.
That's way too casual.
Lean on the table, become even shorter than Tsepha.
It's a nice thing. I have the freedom to lean on the table with you. I don't always have that freedom.
All right, let's watch this again. Yeah, see, yeah, they miss, but I like to call them zoning ults. I myself am a big fan of zoning ulties.
And I mean, we joke. I mean, the zoning ult thing, right? Very frequently a joke, but in this case, that's really what it was. We talk about these situations where there's 2 bad options. You're going to dodge one thing, but you're going to get hit by something else. And that's exactly the setup that OG were able to get.
The best you can do is make the other player look worse while killing you. Mental warfare.
Mental. Slowly grinding them down.
Break their mental.
OG continuing to extend the gold lead here as we push forward. 6K in their favor. Baron up in 40 seconds. They took it uncontested this time, or last time around, but G2 have the knowledge this time. They have the ward control down. They got the Scuttle Crab as well.
They got the Scuttle Crab, but we've seen Origen as a team go for these behind the Baron plays. It's something you can do. You need to look at how many gap closes they have so they could get xPeke over, Braum hop over. Viktor can do it from the over the wall with laser spam, and Elise can technically repel over. So they have a shot at doing Baron from behind in front of Scuttle Crab.
Of course, 1 ward in the pit stopping them from advancing that thus far, but if they clear that, maybe opening up an opportunity in a little bit. G2 relegated to wave clear duty across the map. Need to mitigate the pressure, need to make sure Baron doesn't drop, and just kind of wait. Stop the bleeding. Don't let OG use the advantage that they've accrued thus far. Not a whole lot happening. PerkZ pushing forward. OG clearing out the vision. It continues to be the Baron dance here, the dance of wave clear as well.
As the game slows down, you can feel the tension building up here. Both teams know exactly what's on the menu. It's just gonna matter who's eating it and who's paying for it.
Unfortunately, I feel like G2 are restricted right now to be the classic gentleman.
Yeah.
Forced to pay.
It's like, do you want some? Nah. No, I'm fine. And then she eats half your food. And you have to pay for it.
Not always the best dating experience.
Would you like some fries? No, I'm on a diet.
Well,
eats half your fries anyways.
Looks like dinner and dancing is once again the Baron becomes the focus here.
A dinner of Barons.
OG, I like that they all just stood still there, hoping the trick would maybe
they go full T-Rex mode, hoping for a face check just like PerkZ.
Oh, can G2 protect him this time around? Is this the ticket to go in? G2 disengage.
Strike once, push out lanes, go again here. Complete vision denial. They just have to find ours. Loving the pink ward here in the brush on the left side. It's actually the most important pink ward once you've cleared out vision once, because people keep putting wards over the wall here, because they can never get to the tri-bush if you have control there, and instant Baron start here.
Oh, decisive play. Soaz maybe looking for the flank. TP coming in as well. G2 are grouped up. They do not have the ult from PerkZ.
Oh, Soaz flanking on xPeke.
xPeke going in. xPeke in trouble. He's getting burned down. OG taking control. Trick over the wall, but has he overstayed his welcome? In goes Hybrid. Ult goes wide.
Yeah, they need to respect the double bomb, but they're not going to the Baron here. Exit left, and they're going to match the rotation mid from G2 by
G2
a
don't
push
know
in
what's
the top
happening.
lane. G2 know. They know exactly what's happening. They tried to challenge Baron for mid, but they realized they were being raised bot for mid, which means they have to base. So this is just Origen one step ahead of G2.
And now they're back to the Baron, continuing to be one step ahead, continuing to find these advantages. Zven just clearing out the waves. Trick, he's going to need the hero steal if they want to come back. OG.
Looking for another pickoff here. Another cocoon goes flying. Did it connect? No, it looks like PerkZ flashed it. But we can't fault G2 for going mid here, because at that point, trading mid for Baron is a fine trade. At this point, they traded one tower in the bot lane for
oh no,
potential pickoff on the jungler here, though. Trick is going for too much. This is bold.
Bowling goes down. Baron set to fall as well. Trick running for his life, but OG are going to be able to take this. They outplay in the mental game, and they're going to win the day this time around.
Yeah, in a dance of Barons, it's actually Origen pulling ahead here.
I gotta say, unlike our bad dates, OG's a really good dancer. Yeah,
Nope.
crowd gave it to me. Yeah, you're not gonna give it to me, but crowd gave it to me.
For anything.
I just need you to laugh at my bad jokes. That's just, that's
But
all
I've
I'm
seen
saying.
her dancing. It's
No,
not worth
I said
laughing
our
about.
dates are good dancers.
Ah.
Not my. I'm not trying to
How do
praise
you know
my
about
dance.
my dates, you dirty creeper?
Look, man, I just want to know you.
I actually don't know that song. So.
I don't think it's a song.
All right, let's go back to the game then.
Crowd agrees. I think we
The
can safely
crowd's
say.
happy. Origen is winning here, and honestly,
And we
So-
watched that replay, but this is just calm and confident execution coming in from OG. They're
great shot calling. Adaptation from G2 early in the lane, so it cost them dearly. xPeke stayed in the game, did not get butchered in the 2v2. Soaz danced around his deficits. Yes, he got caught twice, but he pulled a Houdini once to equalize that play, and he continuously stayed ahead of xPeke and then had a really good teleport in the last fight. And right now, Origen are looking to breach the base here. Classic 4-1 with a winning split pusher.
two open inhibitors. Soaz, is he going to shift his attention to the top side and push in that wave? Will he stay mid? OG absolutely in control, and G2, the team that took down Fnatic almost effortlessly, now struggling against this Origen lineup here in our first game. Soaz continuing to threaten.
Gotta be careful though. 4-item Sivir can always turn around a team fight if there's one mistake. A good calling from xPeke. Gets Zven on half HP.
Blocking
Shields
this
up.
out, on the hunt comes in.
That's deep. Yeah, nice
Greg.
gravity field here.
Good chain CC goes in. Soaz remains in the mid lane. G2 trying to make decisive plays, but Soaz set to punish them. Pulls it back into the creep.
That's it. Perfect accordion split pushing. One time, go in, other side goes out. Both go out, both go in at the same time. Just managing the minion waves, always in a numbers advantage, leveraging their strength.
Now moving into the mid lane, the last inhibitor tower left. Taking their time on this one, Cannon doing what it can and burning through that. xPeke tosses a quick boulder to make sure it won't take down the tower, but it's not too far off, and with a top lane inhibitor exposed, things are looking grim for G2.
Yeah, and because G2 actually went for that counter dragon after the Baron, they accelerated the Elder Dragon spawn. So this may actually work in Origen's favor here, because soon they'll have two objectives to toy with while this inhibitor is open in the bot lane, because they took the inhibitor down at the end of their Baron buff. Baron buff lasts like, what, 3 minutes, give or take? And then the bottom inhibitor gets pushed in, and the inhibitor spawn after 5 minutes, which means there'll be overlap with inhib being down and Baron coming up.
Having that Elder Dragon as an option, having the Baron as an option as well, the continuing pressure points for G2 means they are steadily getting choked out of this game. Ward line advancing from OG as well. You can see how much control they have over the bottom side jungle. The only thing that stops them from keeping this up is the fact that the wards are now finally starting to expire.
But they don't care because they're going to shift their wards anyways to the left side because they have minions automatically pushing in. Soaz only needs to bring one blue trinket with him to feel safe in this lane. And Origen could just push in either mid or top, depending whether they want to split pusher close or far for a TP move.
Moving in, PerkZ clearing this out. He's going to need to head back to group with the team, and Soaz, I'm not sure what he's looking for
He's
here.
waiting for next wave. He's waiting for Origen to match the pressure on the other side. You don't split push on your own. It's the same with 1-3-1. You wait for waves to crash in, so when G2 overcommit to pick him off, Origen can then claim the spoils of war on the other side of the map. Unless they see every member in the mid lane, then that will be the trigger for Soaz to go aggressive here. Again, moving your lines of scrimmage up at the same height.
Nearly flawless late game decision making coming in here on the side of OG. xPeke now on the top side, wants to get the spoils, wants to take down that inhibitor. Soaz and Power still playing around the mid lane. 2 points of pressure.
And they're just going to keep choking out G2 vision-wise. I don't think Origen have any dreams of actually taking out inhibitors. If G2 allow it, sure. But they can always fall back into one of these objectives here. There's only one lonesome tunnel for tricking the top side of the map. And that's it, vision-wise.
So much vision. You can see getting pushed further and further in, closer and closer to the base of G2. The tower drops now. It only had 2 hits left, and Soaz gladly takes them. 2 inhibitors, all that's left standing.
I mean, at this point, it's dodgeball in the top lane here. Jumping out of those bombs. If you can dodge a bomb, you can dodge a ball.
But really, you need to worry about bombs right now. Moving in on the hunt, Burn.
Flying
G2, is this their last stand? Moving in, he doesn't have Mega Gnar quite yet. xPeke isolated. They're looking to take down the AD carry. Chaos Storm coming out as well. In goes Soaz, but G2 are on top of him. Chaos Storm making sure that they have the disengage. xPeke, will he have the Mega Gnar when he comes in? Tries to get the engage, gets one into the wall. Soaz, he's finally going to get burned down, but the fight is moving in favor. The GA bringing him back to life. Mithy's gonna get one more shot, but he's just gonna get taken out here. OG take control. Soaz wants some style points, dashing forward to keep this ball rolling, and OG, absolutely insane performance. One team fight to move to close this out. They have
it was
3
the
inhibitors.
right move from xPeke to go for the teleport. Hopsky Doodle over the Gromp there. Stays alive for quite a while, buys some time, but it wasn't enough because Soaz, he bought more time. Revive got used onto Mithy here. Right now, all that's stopping Origen from getting some more kills. It's another good double bomb here, so PerkZ looking for the answer. One bomb.
Stop the pressure.
Here's xPeke.
Getting aggressive. Trying to get the fancy footwork on. Doesn't want to risk getting caught.
That's 3 inhibs down here.
3 inhibs down. Baron Elder Dragon on the way. The only way G2 come back is a miracle steal or a massive mistake.
Yeah, you can see that inhib is spawning soon because the circle's almost complete, but there's still overlap here with Elder, and the last minions will be pushing in once that Baron is up, so there's triple super minions up, at least for one wave. Pushing in, every lane now has double the super creeps here. Remember that. You get 1 for each inhibitor, but once you get all 3, it doubles to 6.
So much pressure. The crowd's amped up. They want to see OG close it, but it's not done yet. There's really no options left for G2, truthfully, but there's still room for error on the side of Origen.
And watch this again. So good teleport. Deport was placed. That was great. Here, look at how he isolates. xPeke will flash over the wall to the right now, and xPeke will use the Gromp to extend his lead. So this is great. Now look at the amount of time xPeke buys. This is like a full 5 to 6 seconds. But the zone from the Chaos Storm combined with Soaz then going aggressive onto Zven makes it so that Origen in the backline can easily take down.
Oh, G2 wants the Baron back. Elder Dragon burning so quickly. They're going to be able to get the Baron.
And now they can hold if they can make their way out.
Moving in, they have the Baron empowered recalls. They're running for their lives. Amazing on the front line. Can he find the cocoon? Zones comes out from the bomb, jumps into the wolf pit.
And now they need to defend the Nexus, but every wave that spawns gets the Baron buffs here, and they can fight against the supers here. There's a wealth of skill shot, and Soaz can assassinate Zven at any time here. Let's see, do we get another iteration of OG versus Fnatic, but this time OG versus G2. After G2 themselves dismantled Fnatic yesterday. 3 hits down, and Baron. The counter line is going in.
Absolutely, Baron versus the Elder Dragon here.
It's the wrong choice, honestly, because Elder Dragon does nothing for G2, and it doesn't help you close that much better because you have 3 buffs, yes, but it only lasts for 2 minutes. Baron is the much favorable objective here, so this is a mistake from Origen letting this happen in the first place.
And we said that's the only way that OG can lose this game, on their own decision making. If they fall flat, they still have time. The buff's still ticking in their favor. Insanely oppressive damage if they get the opportunity.
And there's nothing wrong with G2 letting Origen walk into the base, but look at it. 1 double bomb in the top lane, that wave is gone here. Zven 1 Q plus W Ricochet, that wave in the bot lane is gone, and then they have Baron up creeps to kind of help against the rest. But G2 is going to hold as long as his Baron's on.
They're going to grab a lot of gold as well, hoping to maybe even this up. At this point, we're waiting for some kind of hero play on the side of Origen if they want to close this one out.
Yeah, Cocoon will connect, but look at it. Remember, PerkZ has revived here. Chaos Storm is a waste here. They want to isolate the tower right now. They need to hit the tower, but they don't have creeps to reduce the armor here, so that's Viktor ulti down for no damage whatsoever.
Absolutely nothing hit out on the tower. Dead man plate making expect.
All right, bring out the ZZ Rots.
I don't think the gold's quite there yet, Krepo. Not enough to sell items. So many members on the side of G2 still.
I just want the people in the crowd to maintain their energy, because last time this went on for 40 more minutes, and you guys peaked a little early, so I make sure that there's some cheers at the end of the series if this goes for another 80-minute game.
All right, Well, let's take that upon ourselves too. If this goes for anything, let's calm down.
Let's get some water.
Yep. Let's take a second here.
Lubricate.
Interesting word choice. Baron buff still ticking for G2. Things relatively calm. OG, they're not going to have an opportunity to go in. And G2, they're going to have a nice 6-minute break here.
Yeah, it's a 6-minute break until the next Baron spawns, and that's honestly going to be the key moment. Origen now have learned that Elder Dragon is not the preferred objective. These inhibs will go down again once they spawn. I don't think G2 should foster any hopes of keeping these inhibs alive. They will forever play this game out with 3 inhibs down, but maybe, you know, it can catch a mistake somewhere.
We've seen Fnatic buy 40 minutes. We've seen OG take their time. Could be possible that GQ can turn this around. One late game team fight could open up the map again for G2. Once again, things still look grim. Wave's still getting cleared out. I mean, OG live just outside the base. G2 live in the base. It's a relatively small map, all things considered right now.
Yeah, we could have our equivalent of a lane swap cam here, with just the base in different pips.
We could actually see every point of the map that there is action.
There is no action because it's all wave clear. But yeah, let's see. Aggressive defense on the inhibitor here. You want to keep them alive as long. You need to be fine with folding your hand here, but you can at least play a couple of rounds of poker here if you're G2. Soaz looking for an assassination. He's going to start whacking away at inhib. Zven walks up. And look at Turbo Zven because he knows he can challenge Soaz because he has PerkZ helping him in the back here. This is 5 tricks going in.
G2 maybe looking to get something. Xpeke moving forward, has the speed up from the Zilean, wants to make something happen. Chaos Storm zones out PerkZ.
I'm not sure if that's it because the farther you go out of your base, the farther you go away from the minion lines on the other side. But I like that Zven can go aggressive because he knows he can rely on PerkZ reviving him. And it changes the entire dynamic of the duel versus an Irelia. If it wasn't a Zilean, Soaz could turn around, go 1-for-1 on the trade, and then revive with G8.
Yeah, land a couple more hands. G2 still looking for the big blind. They trade back and forth. They do have to concede the inhibitors, but at the end of the day, they're still threatening OG.
Yeah, OG definitely have position here for this play.
Backing off. No objectives left for them. They can take more gold. They can extend their lead as much as possible. G2 happy to catch these minion waves as well.
And now we go into the equivalent of waiting for Baron. But unlike Godot, he will actually show up. Spoilers. That was the worst play ever, by the way. We read that in like high school. Turns out he never showed up. Have you ever?
No.
Have you ever read Waiting for Godot?
No, never read Waiting for Godot.
So it's a play about 2 guys, I think, sitting in a tree, talk about a guy called Godot, and they wait for him. That's the entire premise. Dude never shows up. Disappointing plot twist.
That's like the later works of M. Night Shyamalan.
Early adaptation. Hey, look, inhibitor spawned. Circle was complete. A new inhibitor was born, only to get smashed at one point in this game.
It's a short life for the inhibitors.
Cruel fate.
Truly the ones who suffer.
Inhibitors are like truly Hindu, you know? Keep reviving.
Come back no matter what. The downside is they don't get reincarnated as anything other than inhibitors, so
it's
they're
like,
kind of just
I wonder
doomed.
what I will be in my next life, you know? Will I be a wealthy like man? Will I just, you know, be an ant, a bird? Nope.
Inhibitor.
Still a set of rocks.
But I mean, at least you're
Still
a pretty
turning.
shiny, turny set of rocks.
Will I keep rotating at a slightly faster speed? Nope. Forever the same.
I mean, how do you think Baron feels, right?
I mean, he gets to travel. At least he has a cool spawn animation, you know?
Yeah.
He goes under the pit, like,
He leaves.
he leaves.
He makes the same pilgrimage every time at the same point in his life.
At least we never talked about the minions.
Hey, man, I don't want to talk about the minions. There are some things that I just want to pretend aren't cruel. And there's a fight happening here, and we should talk about that because Zven is getting aggressive.
But look now, Soaz is isolated on the bottom lane here. Xpeke.
I don't know if this is the right choice from xPeke. He does not do nearly as much damage as he thinks he does.
I mean, there's still a Zilean TP, and he can get to Gnar. All he needs to do is have enough defensive items that he can then proc into Gnar. Remember, Soaz's abilities are on longer cooldown too, because xPeke gets a whole new set available to them once he transforms.
Fat pool of health. OG now looking to the Baron. This is the break point for the game, but G2 are in no position to contest. Trick has no way in. Baron drops for OG.
G2 completed the game on easy mode. They held. Then they fought against Elder Dragon. That was like medium.
Yeah.
Right now they're switching to hardcore or whatever. Have you played Elder Dragon, Fire Emblem?
I don't remember what
Insanity or something. Right now they're playing against triple inhibs plus Baron buff.
This is the legendary. This is the new game plus.
Well, first they need to get the inhibs down. So this is kind of like the level below Insanity. Now G2, they actually will fight, I think, to preserve this inhibitor because there's a Banner Creeper too.
Oh, that is a big.
Hybrid brought his buddy. Look at him.
It's good to have friends.
Splat. But obviously Sivir's really good at clearing out. There goes his buddy.
AD base wave clear, and I believe Ricochet technically does not count as AoE, so does not get that damage mitigated from the Baron empowerment. Good to have in these extended games. Not what Zven may have wanted to bring Sivir to the composition for, but
they have to be wary. Double turbo speed here. We have AoE shield on Mithy. We have Zven's ultimate available, but if they charge into Chaos Storm, it could be over in a jiffy.
Not going to be a jiffy quite yet. Expect with the Mega Gnar.
Might be a Jaffe.
Krepo making up
Things
words,
are
I
about
think.
to happen. Tsepha, you can't challenge the legitimacy of my Jiffy Jaffies.
I can't. Bated breath.
We're waiting. Tension.
I mean,
that's the laser. Hits Zven. He has to back off. Zone here. Bomb up the
Trick
Trick is
goes
going
in. This is it. This is the fight. This is the game right here. Trick. He's set to fall down, but they're ignoring him. They're taking their time. They want the buff to fall out. Trick has to walk away. OG backing up, but Soaz goes in. Block from Zven.
That's a really well played. They send Trick in as the bomb carrier, but then he tunnels out. But now the inhibitor falls eventually. That spell shield from Zven too, challenging the equilibrium strike here. The inhib falls, but it's going slow. It took away multiple minutes of this Baron buff from Origen.
Absolutely what they wanted. They give up the Zilean cooldown, but it doesn't even mean anything. It's a 40-second cooldown at this stage of the game. They have the time. OG, they're scrambling to make something happen, but G2 are holding on. And will continue to till their dying breath. These guys not giving up.
Yeah, and these inhibitors are a very slow iteration of whack-a-mole. You take one down, but then suddenly another one pops up his head in the top lane right now. Mid lane falls. And take two. Not quite Insanity here. Because now it's time for Elder Dragons. I think at one point it might be worth for Origen to sync up these objectives and try and take both.
That...
Because that's only 2 minutes on this Elder.
What? I mean, at what point in your late game do you realize that you have to sync up Elder Dragon and Baron?
It's like Insanity.
Insanity. They get the Elder Dragon. They've got a brief period of time where they're going to force G2 to play on the highest difficulty level possible.
Yeah, PerkZ has red buff too here. But there's only one lane of super creeps coming in right now, so all the other lanes are just standard minions. And I saw my first Zizura somewhere. Maybe it's just my mind playing tricks on me.
No, there's some creeps.
There's one in base. Let's check out who spawned it. I can't see. Somebody. Is there one in the inventory? No, right?
Nope. Bought it, sold it away.
Has to be Zven at this point because he has 24,000 gold in his bank. Anyways.
Spec's starting to get burned down here. Zven has to run away. That's the zoning Chaos Storm.
It's fine. Trading 2 inhibs for the Elder Dragon duration is in itself an okay trade here. We'll find the legitimacy of the Zizirot bastard later on. So we need to see if Origen could close out this last inhib is double the value. Remember, right now there's creeps in any lane piling in. This is just a stack of waves. This is not 2 creeps spawning there. It's a single super creep in every single wave. But if this inhibitor falls, they'll go from 2 creeps every iteration of waves to 6 in total.
No Baron buff, so G2, it's so much easier for them to clear out these waves. But if they do take a fight, OG absolutely have the advantage. Triple Dragon buff plus the Elder Dragon. So much raw power, but they just cannot find the engage, and they have to be so safe about pushing forward. Are they going to go in? Are they going to move for anything? It doesn't look like it.
Are they going to do anything? No. The answer is no, Tsepha. I think we're waiting until the next Baron right now.
We're going to sync it up.
This is Braveheart. Hold. Hold. Hold.
I think that could be our dialogue for the next... How long is it? 10 minutes?
Oh yeah, we weren't going to do that.
No, yeah.
Alright, Soaz is in the bottom putting pressure though. He's going to walk these minions in. He's going to be like the equivalent when the Mask, you ever seen that movie?
Yep.
Conga scene? That's him right now. Soaz. And that's the inhibitor goes down.
This is where it gets harder. Soaz running at least a little bit here. He's just going to use the Blade of the Rune King to walk away.
Probably uses his feet to walk away.
Going to use the speed from the Blade of the Rune King to empower his feet. And now Trick is going to look to go in. They knock Hybrid into the wall, but can they keep this going? PerkZ on the side looking to zone out xPeke.
There's a lot of folks on the support here. Nobody goes down. Chaos Storm is used here.
He's all alone. So much burst coming out from Soaz.
Gets the shield though. Lifesteal all as well. He's almost full HP here. Uses the creep to his benefit.
Moving forward, no advantage gained from OG. Cooldowns blown on both sides, but nothing.
Map is shrinking here. Only the supports really have wards. I wonder why G2 actually has 2 sweepers left. I guess they're scared of TPs in base, but at this point, it may be wise for them to switch to more blue trinkets here. Just find your opponents.
PerkZ continues to clear out the waves. G2, what is their end game here? What do they, I mean, they can keep stalling.
I mean, it's just a war of fatigue, you know. At this point, it's a war of 1,000 cuts. Every failed attempt from Origen, you hope to fracture their mental stability just a little bit more, that eventually they make a mistake where they get aced, and then you control the map, and then they walk into you again. Like for G2 eSports to close out this game, if they manage to hold, they need a couple of successful fights where they then overextend over the river right now. They don't even remember what this river looks like.
It's been so long.
It's like a tale. They need to open like a history book, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Papa always told me stories
Papa
of the river.
told me about the river, boy. Where is this mighty river? It holds dragons and barons. Always see these pillagers coming for our base and our inhibitors. But they keep on turning. That's the way of life here in Inhibitorville.
Just keeps on turning. OG not opting to sync up with the Elder Dragon. Maybe thinking they could do it with one final Baron push. The inhibitors are down.
I mean, was it Einstein that said insanity is the definition of doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result?
Yep.
Well, we're on insanity right now.
Both in difficulty and in Einstein quotes.
Some depth to our analysis here.
Really,
this is an elaborate setup.
We're here to educate and entertain. I mean, I'm here to entertain. You're to educate and entertain. I mean,
great.
All right.
My talent of being full of myself finally being used. Look at that inhibitor. It's up for maybe just 30 seconds.
Hybrid's friend is here again.
That's Bob.
Maybe looking to make an impact.
Well, Bob's not going to blow up unless Zven hits him.
Oh, and Zven hits. Zven hits hard.
Zven does not like Bob.
Yeah, not close friends. Zven gets caught up by the concussive blows. CC get blocked out by Trick.
I mean, Nexus towers just have to stay alive. What HP are they at? They
Almost
both
full.
regen almost full here, 80%, but right now, it's triple conga. The minion lanes, lanes, creeps.
We can get caught.
Ooh, good Chaos Storm here. That's going to be zone. That's going to be a dead Nexus tower pretty soon here. Aggressive ultimate for Hybrid.
Getting in, falling back. Can OG push this out for the win? Trick, flash backwards from PowerOfEvil. Trick just pushing Poisonable back. Soaz starts to move in, turning his attention to the other tower. Equilibrium strike goes down.
This is the breaking point. If any of these towers fall, then Origen have managed to fracture the base, but they can regen up here. Everybody's looking for the finish here, but if OG overreach and stick their hand too far in the cookie jar, G2 can capitalize. Remember, we're 55 minutes of the game. Death timers are incredibly long. We wouldn't know how long because nobody has died in absolute ages.
Maybe we're going to see something here. One death could be all it takes. Trick goes in. PeKe isolated. They're looking to make a pick. Zoned out of the fight. And Zven is dishing out damage. Soaz onto the tower. Tower not going to drop. Slowing it up. Slowly getting whittled down. OG are grinding G2 out of this game. The double Baron empowered minions. Set to make the Nexus fall.
So close right now. Any double tap from xPeke can finish it off.
Can't afford to dash forward.
That's one tower.
Finally, the base of G2 starts to break. OG, calm faces. They know it's going to be the long, slow game from them. They have a minute left on the Baron. What else can they get? They're just going to back off here.
Yeah, and that's the goal here, getting these Nexus turrets down. Because after the fall of the two towers, you could see the return of the king here from Origen.
All right, that was fantastic, but who is the king for the sake of this metaphor?
Origen, they're like the Aragorn, you know? They're going back. That's a loose reference. God damn it.
Is xPeke or is
xPeke is our Aragorn? I mean, he fits. Yeah. He's closest to Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah. Who is our Gimli?
Gimli?
Yeah, who's our Gimli?
Amazing. He's always salty, annoyed. And I'm pretty sure he wouldn't like being tossed over a bridge either. He's totally Gimli.
Definitely Gimli. PowerOfEvil, Varus, can we say Legolas?
Legolas, of course.
Legolas.
He has like
an
elf face as well.
We got our fellowship.
And Soaz and hybrids, I mean, if hybrid was a little shorter, they could be the hobbits, but...
Get in the ring.
Getting the ring to Mordor.
Yeah.
Nexus in the Mordor, even has a little eye on top of it.
A lot of Uruk-hai standing in the way.
Getting born, spawned, and immediately slaughtered. They don't get too many lines in the movie either.
They get cool little hands painted on their face, though. Little consolation prize for the...
I think we need team logos on minions. Our Uruk-hai concept. All right.
Defensive helms deep, going well on the side of G2.
But there was a breach in the wall. One tower's down.
Where is their Gandalf? That is truly the question. Where is their...
On the dawn of the 5th day, look east.
It's only day one,
We're only
Krepo.
58 minutes in.
It's only hour one, please.
If this
Please.
game goes for like
No 5 days.
4 more days, we'll have a Gandalf. Probably be a referee steps in and guys,
Guys, we're done.
I think it's time. I think it's time to call it a draw.
The first draw in League of Legends history. Aggressive moves coming in from Trick, though. G2 pulling the trigger here, moving forward. xPeke wants to make a play, but it's not going to happen. Equilibrium strike comes out, knocks hybrid into the wall. Not going to be able to get it. Trick moves forward. Is he going to get burned down? Is the ult going to fall off instead?
Wait.
Backing
That's
off. Amazing grabs a kill. This could be the game. Soaz jumps in. That could
he's
be
carrying
it.
a bomb.
Turnaround coming in as well. Sven dishes out so much damage. Low health bars on OG. Is hybrid going to drop?
Soaz is dead. He dropped.
Getting it in the end. They're buying so much time, but is the other Tower going to drop?
No. Tower, you're too young to die. You've only been in this game 59 minutes.
Not going to be enough. G2 hold.
Hold. We need more CZ rots.
We need more
It's equivalent
survival-based movie references.
Yes. Oh, don't worry. There's plenty of that one. We can still call this entire situation inconceivable if it wasn't for actually having the exact same game last week, but yeah.
Yeah. Is this a rerun? I feel like I've seen this one before.
Yeah, I've casted this one before. I know how my voice feels after this one. Can we get a quadra kill, please, for a hold? Amazing. Gets bombed.
I need to figure out how to say that without just, you know.
Oh yeah, by the way, supports made it to level 18. Mithy's level 18. Hybrid is still looking for that magical level up. He doesn't have a Zilean funneling him experience, so welcome to support life. You've been playing League of Legends for over an hour, and he is still a quarter off. And Tsepha's like reaching and grasping. He's like, what are you pointing out?
I'm like pointing at the screen, but I'm actually pointing at
tissue.
tissues. And Krepo's like, what are you pointing at? What mysteries have you uncovered?
What do you mean, lassie? Where's the well? Did somebody fall into the well? No, Tsepha actually just needs a tissue. All right. But G2 actually came out of their base here.
Getting aggressive, Trick pushing forward. Chaos Storm goes in, not gonna land the stun.
They found the mythical river of the Tails. Papa was right.
It does exist.
A river with an Elder Dragon.
It's so beautiful, but so full of people who want to kill you.
And it's also useless because we only have one dragon buff, which means Soaz. Oh, wait.
Oh, we've seen this before.
It's xPeke time.
Oh, no.
Turd up. Oh, he has an inhibitor chew through and the Nexus turret. That's
Forward.
one.
Set down.
Oh, collapse here, double collapse. This could be Soaz dropping for the Elder if
No,
Drake
they're just going
finds
to
a
back
way
off.
out.
They want to contest the Elder Dragon instead, but now their Smite has left the area. 6k health still going down. Sven, it's a good setup if he can get in there, but he doesn't have the option. Elder Dragon drops.
Yeah. And right now, G2, we moved on. Lord of the Rings, they're in the American election right now. They're about to feel the burn.
I don't think you've been following the American election very well.
The burn wasn't very efficient.
The burn tonight was a first-degree burn at best.
Yep.
No reason.
I mean, Origen's looking for the Baron here to play the trump card. Soaz.
I'm trying so hard to think of a Clinton or Hillary follow. There's just not. It just doesn't. Isn't there?
Yeah. They probably deleted that record. There's a new CS record, guys, in town. Sven's ability to farm now has outmatched anybody else. He has 860 CS. Should you be so interested in it? That's 31,000 gold.
Record-setting performance. We've seen games end before teams hit that amount of gold.
And more importantly, Hybrid is now level 18, and there's a
going
fight.
in. Can he get the play? He has Gnar smacked down. Are they going to be able to get more? They back off. First pick goes down. PerkZ reviving. He's going to drop
He's
as well.
dead. That's it.
OG have got it. That is going to be the game. You can hear the crowd cheer. They're pushing in. G2, they have no hope left to defend this. Inhibitor going to drop.
And they save their energy here. Both Origen calm and collected here. 5v3. Should be an easy close here. Trick goes in. Desperate maneuver.
Desperation. Desperate times, desperate measures. Sven backs off. Can he dish out enough damage? He's actually doing so much to the OG lineup. Are you kidding me, G2? Can you hold on?
That's a Braum shield depleted here. No more projectile. Sven. Imagine if he goes for an AoE cleanup here.
Blade. He has flashed shortly. OG get the last tower. They're moving forward. Mithy speeding up the team.
Oh, look at the sound. This is the farm on the gank line.
Mithy goes in. He gets burned down. Sven, can he kill PowerOfEvil? He gets one.
That's one here. Careful for the backdoor too. Look at teleports. Is there anything available? Soaz has teleport. He bases right now.
No way to get into the base.
Actually held the game, and Baron is still alive.
And when the two towers fall, are we finally going to see the return of the king?
But
is this
who
it?
is the king at this point? I'm looking at G2 right now, and nobody vaguely resembles Aragorn, so it must be xPeke here. Look at it. Baron in the mythical river.
G2, desperation. Amazing.
Soaz is running down the mid lane here.
They just want to end the game, but G2 empowered recalls.
Origen's going for the backdoor. They want to stall recalls.
They just need to buy time here, but can they afford to? PerkZ set up to recall if he gets the opportunity. Maybe they want to take the fight instead. Soaz can't decide what he wants to do. Retreat coming in overall. Keeps moving forward. Such an intense moment in this game. G2 once again buying themselves time with this Baron buff. Sven, he is absolutely terrifying.
That's
no boots
a lot of
left.
minions. If xPeke kills all of them, he can get a new item. Oh wait, he's on 6,000 gold. The irony when Origen needs to start deploying the ZZ rots for their defense if somehow G2 claw back into the game.
I mean, they've surely got the gold. They're deploying ZZ rots of their own.
Deploy the ZZ rots.
Okay, I'm gonna go a little deep here, so you're gonna follow me to the abyss. Is there a point of vulnerability on the side of OG where they have to buy said ZZ Rot to approach to place it, and then if G2 can collapse on them while they have a ZZ Rot instead of a 6 item, is that a favorable fight?
No, you don't move out of the base, play ZZ Rot's base, and then get your item back again.
Oh.
That's not, I don't think that's a feasible strategy. Although at this point, I've seen desperate players do desperate things. They could sync up a triple banner though in the base. If they wait for cannon spawns, they could all base, sell item, buy banner of command, buff, sell banner, buy item again. And then I have a nice coggle line of triple baron minions that will just clear out in one shot by Zven. But at least you tried. But we could also see honestly a rush for the Nexus here.
We got one in the bottom lane. No empowered minions anywhere else, however, but they do have the supers. G2 clearing out as best they can. Soaz continuing to threaten on the side. There's actually a empowered creep in the top lane as well, so it looks like OG making the play.
They're making a play here, but they have one inhibitor alive. Just verifying, yes. So that's only one super creep each lane. Again, we went over this, but at this point, we may have new viewers tuning in because it's been an hour-long game.
Moving forward, G2.
Divide and conquer here for Origen. Look at where PowerOfEvil is. He is Assassin Viktor right now. When everything fails, you change the role of your champion. Your control mage is now an assassin.
PowerOfEvil. Anyone on OG maybe looking for the opportunity to make a pick here to end this game. 66 minutes.
Choose your own destiny.
17,000 gold lead for OG, but it doesn't mean anything. 6 items on every single person. Mithy, the only one lagging behind.
Amazing is 7,000 gold ahead of Trick. Trick is not getting any of this farm here because he can't wave clear. Everybody's level 18 too. Supports have finally lived the dream.
This is
it.
This is
I was joking when I said it would go on for a potential 40 minutes. At 40 minutes, I now regret making that joke.
Oh, wow.
That's what I like, you know.
All right.
They save their energy, but they're losing a little bit.
Krepo, speaker of the crowd.
First of his name.
First of his name.
All right, inhibitors closing in. Look at Zven. So actually analyzing these team fights is very hard because the power shifts are tremendous, and the power revive here is such a big influencer. But Zven can play with absolute liberty because Mithy's shields are massive. There's Mikhail's, there's Locket. There's so many items catered to keep Zven alive, and he's charging it.
Going in, he gets the knockup, but he's going to get burned down. Will he respond in time? Chaos Storm, can they get it off? They're continuing to push forward. Defiance comes out, they're backing off.
So what's
Soaz
the
on the Nexus. Expect, he has to turn Mega. He has to stop this immediately. They need the double bomb. Are they going to be able to get it? I don't know. They push forward. We've seen so many players turn. Oh, OG! One final move. Soaz with the hero play to close out that 67-minute game.
And Zven got negated by Hybrid in the last fight. It doesn't matter how much damage you deal when your projectiles get destroyed. Hybrid channeled both Exhaust and Shield to prevent Zven from cleaning up, and then Soaz ignored xPeke and just went for the backdoor finish. How could it ever have been finished in any other fashion here?
Absolutely insane. Hybrid. We think about how strong Unbreakable is. We look at the gold present in the hands of Zven. 35,000 gold removed from a fight immediately, and that was finally enough.
He literally held the door. A vault door. He literally. And that's how you win, man.
No matter what we do, no matter where we go, we always bring it back.
Bring it back.
The Game of Thrones.
This was a rough game, and Origen, at one point, does it become a pattern of not being able to close out a game under like 76 minutes? But hey, win's a win.
I mean, I don't want to do this every time we have a 70-minute game, but is this the rebirth?
It was fun.
Is this CLG EU 2?
Oh, Jesus Christ, stop that. It's like, hey, Krepo, you too used to play long games.
No, I'm not saying.
The curse?
I'm saying that is this the new rendition of that same team? I'm not trying to bring you back to your glory days.
Yeah, those are long gone. I don't know, man. Those glory days stem from an inability to actually play a mid game. And in this particular instance, Origen late game. But I'm sure there are many more qualified people to talk about this very subject.
Absolutely. So let's take a chance and jump on over to that analyst.